We're talking about how exactly you can increase the likelihood of you getting a guest post of a website owner or someone who's in charge of a website or an online business in general. In this case, I'm using for example purposes since Manchester United is a team most people know around the world. This is a very famous brand, business, that kind of stuff. In this example purposes, let's assume the person we're trying to get a guest post is a big Manchester United fan. So how exactly can we use Google or search engine or other things to find out how to build up relationships or do research? Well, the best we do is simply this. All we do is just type in Manchester United manager or Manchester United. We can see at the moment the name of the guy, Ole Gunnar. I might be saying his names wrong, but anyway, so we can see he's a Norwegian professional football player, manager, former player, that kind of stuff, and is the current manager of English club. As a player, he played as a forward and spent most of his career at Manchester United. So we've now got the name of the manager in charge. So if the person is a big fan of Manchester United, if we include something about him, such as Ole Gunnar is a really good manager, something like that, or I see your team's doing pretty well this season. It's just something to make it a bit more personalised. You don't have to make it too creative, too mad. Like, for example, I've been a big Manchester United fan for 20 years. I go to every their matches. You just want to make it simple and to the point in the sense this is going to be something that someone's going to care about. It also tells him or her, because you put that comment down about Manchester United, you've done a bit of research into them. But one thing you must make sure, which is something I see as well some people do wrong, people do it in kind of a stalker way. What do I mean by kind of a stalker way? In a sense, they'll do things like they'll find out a name for a son, daughter, that kind of stuff, and this is kind of a good and a bad thing. The reason I say it's a good and a bad, it's kind of like a double-edged sword in a sense. If you make a comment about someone's kid, you think, why is this person knowing about my kids? And it can come across a bit stalkish or a bit unprofessional if you do that. So I wouldn't recommend you make a comment about their family in or their immediate family unless you're sure they're interested in that sort of things you'd be saying. It just can come across a bit negative, a bit stalkish, that kind of stuff. So I wouldn't recommend you doing that if you're planning to do. But anyway, getting into it more. So we would just really use this as a simple example. We got the names, we could say something like that already. We can also do more research on the football websites such as BBC Sport. So we can see at a moment, at the current moment in time, Manchester United is 5th place. So we can say at the moment, it's early season, of course, so it could go up and down, that kind of stuff. But we can say at the moment, Manchester United at the moment is doing pretty well, being in 5th place in the hardest league in the world to rank. So we can say without a doubt, if we made a comment talking about how good the manager is, the person himself or herself would probably agree with you. The only way we wouldn't really agree with you would be if the person you were emailing or contacting is a big glory hunter. I'm just going to explain what glory hunter in case you don't express this. A glory hunter is basically someone who supports a football team or swaps football teams depending on whoever wins the league. For example purposes, if a person is a glory hunters now, they might support Liverpool this season. Just for example purposes, Liverpool win. If, for example purposes, Manchester City win, they'll then swap. It's just what people are quite a lot of times when it comes to professional football clubs. In a lot of cases, glory hunters are really common. So if a person's a glory hunter, you might find when you make a comment about a team, they've already swapped, so they'll be annoyed, unhappy, blah, 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 that kind of stuff. So it's good to try and get to know, if you can, a bit of things about the personality, such as follow a person on Twitter, so you see what things they're saying, pay attention to their company or business on Facebook and other places. Just do a bit of research. You don't have to go too into it, but it's a useful thing if you don't know much about the person. Follow him or her on Twitter itself, and you might find interesting facts you can then use to increase the likelihood of him saying yes to you to give you a guest post, that kind of stuff. But that's basically just a simple way you can basically find out information about someone, then make a comment about it. I'm just going to do one more thing you can do as well. If you can't find anything out about this exact person on their social profiles to try and get a connection going, this method itself I find works really well, but I'll just show you how to do it anyway. I'm just going to be picking a random famous person. It doesn't really matter who I'm picking. In this case, I'm just doing this for example purposes. So, there we go. Okay, you probably know Gene Simmons. He was part of a band called Kiss. I don't know if Kiss is still going. I'm not going to get into that. But let's just say, for argument's sake, we find someone who's called Simmons, the same as Gene Simmons. Let's just say, for example, he's called Steven Simmons. We could make some sort of comment in relationship to Gene Simmons, saying something like this: "Wow, it's really cool that you're related to Gene Simmons. I've been a big fan of Kiss for years. Are you a fan of your relative's music as well?" If a person replies back in a positive way, which will quite often happen, you could then use this as a simple approach to build up a working relationship with that person, company, whatever, to get a guest post. Because you haven't started a hard sales approach and said it's buy, 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 sell, 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 that kind of stuff. That's one of the things people do quite often wrong. Because you basically stepped, if you like, into more like a friend zone with the person, or as someone interested to learn more, you'll be more likely to get told yes because you spent the time instead of trying to get a desperate yes from someone. You've now built a relationship with a person because you then took an interest in him or her, their family, that kind of stuff. And that can be some of the time quite a good way to get a good working relationship. For me, I've been able to do it in basically any country. I've done it in Germany, Britain, America, Russia, Ukraine, basically any country in the world, more or less. I've been able to do that through history or history related ways to get guest posts. Now, it always depends, it completely depends on your email script as well for you getting a good reply or not. I would always recommend you try and make your email script unique to each person or as unique as possible. It just sounds more natural, and you may not realize as well, but a lot of people themselves can easily tell if it's been copied 1,000 times. And if people find your thing's been copied 1,000 times, you get the same email from like 10 agencies a week, a month, that kind of stuff. It tells them loud and clear you've put no effort into replying to them, so you have a much lower chance of getting success if you're using the same template as lots of other people, which is very common as well. Anyway, I hope this video helps you. Thanks, bye.